Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you all for coming on and joining us for this lovely Thursday evening. I appreciate you guys all taking the time out of your busy schedules. I want to get in to a wonderful presentation about Lifewave X39 patches that I was introduced to. I was called up by my friend Di not long after I experienced a lot of odd things. It kind of felt like it came on out of nowhere, but when I really look back, I do feel that it was a progressive thing. So I was just kind of telling my sister, telling friends, telling my husband, I just didn't feel like myself. And I went for a bunch of blood work and about 20 vials of blood taken and was told that you were perimenopausal. And due to that, I was also starting to get high blood pressure. About a week or so after I was introduced, I was told about that, I was introduced to the Lifewave patches. My friend Di calls me up from Florida and says to me, "What do you know about stem cells?" So I basically said, I know a lot. We have some family history of cancer. I'm going to ask everybody that's on if they don't mind muting themselves because I am hearing a little bit of background noise. So we went on and on talking about, what it was that, why I was so knowledgeable about stem cells. And basically, my brother had brain cancer at the age of 26. He passed away. And then his only daughter, who was a year and a half after, she passed a year and a half after he was born. Excuse me, she passed after a year and a half after he passed away. She basically died about 21 years later after he passed away from a rare form of cancer. I am actually getting a little bit sidetracked because of the background noise. I thought I had everybody muted, so please excuse my distraction. So with that, I went and said to Di, "What is it that you have for me?" And she said, "I have a patch that will activate your own body stem cells." So for me, I felt like I was looking for something. I was constantly taking care of myself, trying to eat properly, trying to sleep properly, getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep, not feeling like I had any mental clarity, not feeling like I was my best self. I had aches and pains that I never had before. I had a really bad tendonitis in my elbow. I wasn't able to open up the door without having pain. I wasn't able to vacuum. So she really introduced this to me at a time where I was looking for something. So when she told me that I could activate my own body stem cells by just putting on a patch, it just blew my mind. And I said, "I'm interested." She said, "Give me your credit card." So I jumped in. And the next morning, I got up and started researching. And I researched hours on end. It was just very exciting to me that everybody is into stem cells now. I'm sure you've heard Tony Robbins talk about it in his book, Life Force. I'm sure that you've heard all about it all over the internet. It's like the next big thing. So to know that I could put a patch on my body and activate my own body stem cells with the cost of maybe $4 a day, it was very intriguing to me. And also having that insurance policy that I wasn't going to live in fear anymore because of the cancer that we've had in our family. So lo and behold, I dove in with all my research. I started telling all my friends, and here we are today. It has become life-changing for me. I no longer have brain fog. I no longer have problems sleeping. My skin has changed completely. About 3 months after I started the patch, I noticed my C-section scar was gone, completely disappeared. It's now just a kind of a faint white line, whereas it used to be indented and like kind of a dark purple color. My aches and pains in my elbow went away after about 10 minutes, which doesn't normally happen. I am considered a one-patch wonder. So That's not something that I really like to tell people, because then they get disappointed and they put a patch on and they're not feeling amazing right away. But I also don't have a lot of inflammation. I've always taken care of myself. I'm a personal trainer. I've lived my whole life working out and eating right. So the inflammation that was occurring in my elbow was due to breaking it when I was 3 years old, and it must have just been the beginning of arthritis and tendonitis. So most people can take anywhere between a week to 3 months, sometimes 6 months. What we do recommend is a month for every decade of life. So my husband, on the other hand, it took him a couple of months to really notice a change. He had a generator, 600-pound generator, fall on his elbow when he was trying to lift it onto a platform, and someone lost balance. It came and he protected his face. It landed on his elbow, and he had no tricep activation. So anytime he raised his hands over his head, he would hit himself in the head because he couldn't keep his arm up. So roughly about 3 months or so, he noticed he was able to, hold his arm up without having any difficulty. He started to be able to work out. He's got bone on his knees. He's an electrician, has his own company, has been, pushing through really bad knees, told he needed knee replacements, but he's only 45 years old. So he just dealt with it. And one day he happened to call me after being on the patches, maybe about 5 months. And he said, I actually ran down a mile-long driveway to my truck, not mile, I would say half a mile there and half mile back, to get some equipment, because he works on these ginormous houses that have these driveways that, are very, very long. So he wound up noticing that he was able to run without any pain. That was about maybe 5 months or so into it. So everybody's different. You're going to hear some amazing testimonials as we go on through the meeting, but I will say it's not a matter of when or if the patch works, it's a matter of when the patch works, because it does reverse age. So I'm going to get into my slideshow and I'll get into how that happens. It's pretty interesting. Okay, let's see. All right, so let me, 1 second. Okay, so has everybody been patched? I'm sure everybody that's on the call has tried the patch, but if you haven't, you want to get with the person that invited you on this Zoom call. The patch looks like this little white Band-Aid that's on her, right beneath her shoulder. It's just basically organic crystals, salt, water, and amino acids, and then there's a frequency that's injected into the patch. So when you put on the patch, what it does is it mirrors your body heat. So we are all light beings. We emit this infrared heat. When you put that on, the infrared heat hits the patch then mirrors that heat back into the body, and then it will activate and elevate your body's copper peptides. Then your copper peptides will then signal your stem cells to awaken and rejuvenate. So this is a very interesting thing, because a lot of people don't know this, but at the age of 30, half of your stem cells are gone. They're just dormant. They're not actually gone. They're dormant. So they kind of fall asleep in your body. You have to reawaken them. And the only way that you do that is through injections that don't always work. And the injections are only going to the site of where you have pain. Let's say if you have knee pain, it's going to just work in that one area. But putting this patch on your body will actually reawaken all the stem cells in your body. And then at the age of 60, if you haven't started using this patch, you have almost very little stem cell activity. So it's really, really interesting how this works. And you really want to get with the person that introduced you to this wonderful patch, because it will change your life like it did mine. So the fewer stem cells that you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. So you want to tell as many friends as you can, because I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people that are complaining about aches and pains, no mental clarity, lack of sleep because they're insomniacs. So this patch is for everybody. So how does the X39 patch work? It's the holy grail of anti-aging. It is activating the copper peptide in your body that's called GHKCU. And if you actually look up GHKCU on Google, you will see all the amazing results that activating that peptide will have in your body. And that's why David Schmidt, the wonderful founder and inventor of this amazing patch, wanted to find a way to activate that copper peptide, because once you do, then your stem cells will kind of reawaken and turn back the clock. Like I mentioned before, it's made of organic nanocrystals, and it will just reactivate all the dormant stem cells in your body. What's wonderful about this company, Lifewave, is that it's been around for over 20 years now. This slide is a bit old. It went from a $20 million company to $280 million in the last 2 years. So when I found out about this about a year ago, I was told that the company was making 25 million, maybe a little less, 20 million a year. And within year 3, it was making 25 million a month. That is how fast just bringing this one product to market has built this company. Just in 2 years, we have taken that much growth, and it's now open in over 75 countries, which is incredible. So, there's teams growing all over the world with this beautiful, wonderful invention. So this is the man, David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, CEO. He is a wonderful man. He has over 130 patents. He is a 2-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award in the International Hall of Fame. If you listen to this man, and that's kind of what I did when I first got involved, I just couldn't stop listening to him. And I got on as many YouTube videos as I can to hear him speak. And he's just such a godly, humble man. He basically said that he looks for divine intervention. He looks to God to give him the guidance. And he said it wasn't him, it was God who basically helped him to come up with this invention and helped him to share it with others. And the beautiful thing about him is that he could have sold it for $500 a month for a 30-day supply. All of his business partners or business associates told him, this patch is amazing, you can get $500 for 1 month supply. And he said, no, that's not going to work for me. So then someone said, okay, so maybe 300. And he said, no. He said, we got to do it so that everybody can use this product. So he decided to have it be sold for $100 plus tax and shipping. So you really can't beat getting this for a little less than a cup of coffee a day to turn back the clock. This is a patented technology. So what is it like to get a patent? I don't know if anybody's ever looked into it. It takes a lot of research, a lot of money, a lot of time, and you have to prove that your product works. You cannot get a patent if your product does not pass all the science, and it doesn't basically show in the double-blind placebo studies that it does what it says it's supposed to do. So we are now looking at a company that has a product that no one else has. You can't buy it in GNC. You can't go to Costco. You can't get it from your doctor. The only way you can get this product is from somebody like me and other people that are on my team that are brand partners. And it's beautiful because if you wind up doing this as a little side business, just by sharing it with some of your friends, no one can get it from anywhere else but from you. So it's a wonderful business opportunity as well. It's not a Me Too product like collagen and weight loss and vitamins and creams, CBD. This is one of its own, and there's nothing else like it out there. How do you activate, or what happens when you activate your stem cells? So you will notice rapid pain relief, which I had with my tendonitis in my elbow. You will notice reduced inflammation. And what is inflammation? Inflammation is dis-ease in our body. So anything like cardiovascular disease, heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, all of that is actually inflammation. So when you reduce that, you'll start to see these diseases start to dissipate. It supports wound healing, which I noticed with my C-section scar disappearing. You will notice energy and vitality. I have way more energy than I had in my 20s and 30s. I can go all day without having to take a nap. I used to have to take a nap for at least 10 minutes every single day in my 20s and 30s. The mental clarity is out of this world. I used to not be able to finish my sentences. My husband would actually have to finish my sentences for me because I just couldn't think. But the mental clarity is amazing. It enhances sports performance. I can work out for over an hour without even feeling like I need to stop. And the recovery is unbelievable. I don't really have much pain after I have a really strong workout. And of course, improved skin appearance, which you will see in some of the testimonials. X39 long-term results will show you 4,000 genes getting reset within the first few days. And this is all per the 80 case studies. And you can find those studies on startx39.com. Within the first 6 weeks, you will notice your brain becomes balanced. So you'll see decreased symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased, decreased wrinkles, hair growth will increase, increased structural integrity of bone and skeletal system and muscular systems. And that's pretty interesting because my hair, all of a sudden I have these little like flyaways that are coming out. It's all new hair growth. My husband's knees, as I said, he was bone on bone. And I do believe that the structural integrity of his skeletal system is really coming back. And I'll even show you a picture, before and after picture of someone who had scoliosis. Within 6 months, and this is key, this is why we tell everybody, you can't just try it for a month. You have to really give it a fair try of at least a month for every decade of life. But 6 months is where you're going to see the true results. So in a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just using X39 for 6 months. That's huge. This is not anti-aging, it's age reversal. So you can't just, a lot of people are putting creams on their face. A lot of people are taking different antioxidant pills, thinking, they're going to slow down the clock. They're not reversing the clock. They may help. It may be able to help them to slow it down, but this is the only thing that's going to reverse the clock. So this is an amazing website. If any of you have questions, you want to see these double-blind placebo studies, you want to learn about the patents or prove to a doctor that this is the real deal through the patents and through the studies, listen to David Schmidt, hear testimonials. This is the site. You might want to take a screenshot. It's startx39.com, and it will tell you all about light therapy and how this works. Sorry, I need to go and mute. So this is how you wear the patch. We have 2 different places where the studies were done. So there's a spot right below your neck. There's a bony knob at the base of your neck or right below your belly button. You wear it for 12 hours and then you take it off for 12 hours. So my mom is very smart. She sets an alarm on her phone to remind her. I have these beautiful jars up next to my toothbrush where I will brush my teeth, put a patch on, and then at night when I go to brush my teeth again, I take the patch off. The important thing is you need to drink plenty of water. Water is key. If you are not drinking water, you may start to feel a little bit of detoxing happening. You may feel fatigued. You may feel out of sorts. So just make sure that you're drinking water, because you'll notice once you start doing that, you're going to feel better. Here are some testimonials. There's a woman that you can see her skin has changed from I guess, a major cut that she had. It's kind of hard to see in this picture. There's a woman down at the bottom where she wore it for 355 days, and she looks 20 years younger. There's another gentleman on the bottom where you can see new hair growth. I am actually, if everybody can mute themselves once they hop on, I can hear a little bit of a background noise. I'm going to try to look for everybody and make sure that I'm muting them, because I keep hearing a lot of noise in the background. Okay. I set it up for that to automatically happen, but for some reason it keeps coming on as background noise. So let's go into the testimonials. And first one I'm going to show you is pretty incredible. You will see this is someone who had heart surgery. And the first picture is, probably days after the surgery. The second picture is a year when it healed without X39. And then the third picture is a month after they started wearing the patch. You can barely see the scar. So it was only 1 month and the skin is completely healed. This next picture is my beautiful friend, Mary. This was 3 months after wearing the patch. She literally looks 20 years younger. Her skin is supple. Her neck is completely free of any lines. It's pretty amazing. And no, this is not Photoshop. Someone asked me that. She has no idea how to Photoshop. She literally took a screenshot of herself and I just cropped it to the original picture. This is a picture of a friend whose husband has brain cancer, and you can see on the right side, it healed almost, it's almost non-apparent, and the doctor couldn't get over how quickly and easily it healed within a month. This is a before and after of someone that wore it for 30 days to get rid of varicose veins. It's pretty remarkable. This is someone who has vitiligo. This is a very tough autoimmune disease that you really can't get rid of it. All you can do is get on a heavy dose of a pharmaceutical that has a lot of side effects, and it may help to stop it from spreading more, but it never reverses it. This is just 3 months of wearing X39, and you can see it has reversed the vitiligo. Here is a woman that you can see wore the patch, and there's like an amazing result. From January to March, you can see a lot of change in the wrinkles in her chest. And then from March to June, even more so. And then from June to July, it's almost like she never even had the wrinkles before. It's amazing for collagen reproduction. This is a gentleman who has acne and started to use the glutathione patch, which is another patch that the company has. There's several patches. We really just focus on X39 because it is the holy grail and it does everything for you. But there's another one, glutathione, which is good for people like me who has something that's called MTHFR. It's a genetic mutation where you don't detox. So when you have a toxin or you get a vaccine, or you're drinking toxic water, let's say you're away and water has pesticides in it, my body does not release it. So the chemicals and the toxins get, it stays in my body. So someone like him, he's probably got acne because he's got a lot of, allergies and toxins in his body. So we're using the glutathione, it helps to release some of that out. Okay, so I'm going to call on my dear friend, Jackie. She is a wonderful person. She is actually an energy healer, and she's going to come on and talk about her testimonial. And she's also going to get into what this beautiful picture looks like. These are all different words that were given to water. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Dr. Emoto, but he did a study on water, and he spoke to the water and even put names on the outer bottle of the water. And you can see after the water was frozen, all the beautiful crystals. I don't know if Jackie's on yet, so I'm just going to continue talking until she comes on, and I will pin her video. Jackie, are you on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Perfect. I just want to find your video. Let's see. Just want to, there we go. I want to pin your video. Okay.
Okay. I've been on the patch. Michelle introduced me to it approximately a year ago. And I've had some amazing results with my skin quickly. It was quickly happening. And some things I didn't even realize that I discovered about a month ago. I had a couple of scars and they have completely disappeared. I sleep better. My vision has improved. I'm more relaxed. A lot of my friends have had excellent results. One of my friends, Margaret, she's actually at another event. She has a son, 16 years old, and with ADD, and she gave him the patch. And within 3 weeks, he began to forget his medication, and he had no reactions with any ADD symptoms. And now they are taking him off of the medication, and they're very happy. My parents, you would think that they've turned the clock back into maybe their 70s. They're in their 90s. And I've spoken about this before, if some of you've already heard it, but my dad had serious heart issue with surgery. He had 7 blockages, and 5 were in the main chamber of the heart. And then he had 2 up onto the left chamber. And the surgeon had said that you have to come back within 6 months to at the most a year. And we can do this procedure for you in an overnight, and then you can go home. So when I was down for the holidays this past year, I had asked him, have you seen your surgeon? And he didn't. He completely forgot about it. I said, Dad, you got to go do this. So he got the appointment in April. So he's been on the patch since last August to April. He had a full exam, blood work, everything. And the surgeon said to him, John, you don't have to have that surgery. Your arteries are fine. And as a matter of fact, we can cut all your medication down to half. So now my parents, and it just really tickled me. I was talking to Michelle about it. They joined a gym, and they go like 4 days a week. So I think that's really great. So they really have reversed the aging process. So what I wanted to talk to you about, I'm always talking about water. I mean, we cannot live without water. That's a fact. Over the past couple of years, we've collected some collateral damage from fear, frustration, from the being locked down, not being able to do the things you want to do, all the scares. And those type of things and those kind of thoughts and things that are thrown at you create brainwashing, and your conscious picks it up like a sponge. You don't even have to think about it, and it stays in there. That's a vibrational effect, and it stays until you do something about it. So these snowflakes that you're looking at, they're affected by a vibration. They just don't form. It's the vibration. It's a vibration of the universe, the atmosphere, positive thinking. They've done tests with water on a table, and they give it frequency notes. There's Tesla frequency notes. I don't know if some of you heard about them, 528-471-369. Those are beautiful healing frequencies. And if you have that frequency hit the snowflake, the water, it creates a beautiful design like a snowflake. So that's what goes on in your body. You are basically water. You are a vibrational creature. The patch is a frequency, a vibrational I'm going to call it a vibrational creature too, because it exactly matches everything in your body. What's in that patch is in your body. So you're going to get that result. Remember, there's always a cause to the cause in something in your life, and it's not the end of the world. You give the body what it needs, it can heal itself.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I'm going to unpin you. So if you look at these beautiful snowflakes, if you speak to yourself, when you put these patches on you and you speak to yourself, I'm putting this patch on me. It's going to make me feel better. It's actually going to work faster. If you put it on you reluctantly, oh, this patch isn't going to do anything. Well, guess what? It may take a little longer for you. I mean, it will work because it is a frequency, and frequency is there to heal, to turn on your body's healing mechanisms. But this is just another way of telling people, you have to be open to this, and you have to give it time. So I'm going to go into the next slide. Family, time, freedom, security, travel, better health, less debt. What is most important in your life? For me, it was, having time with my family, having freedom and security. But I will say that my health was the main goal for me, because I am 46 years old. I was starting to feel a little bit worried about my health, and worried about my timeline, because I've seen so many people, pass at a very young age. So these are some of the things, and I know I have my mom on. I want to have her speak a little bit more about how Lifewave has changed her life, and the effects that it's had on her. So Mom, if you can unmute yourself, that would be amazing. And I'm going to pin you. Okay. All right, Mom, you have to just unmute yourself. Yes, to unmute. Let me see. Nope, can't hear you yet. Not yet. I'm pressing ask to unmute, but it's not letting me. I'm going to move on to somebody else, and then just keep trying to hit that button to unmute yourself. It's not letting me do it. It's on the bottom left. You should see a little red thing with a thing in it. All right, for now, work on that. It's okay. It's no problem. There's technical difficulties. I'm going to have Vic, my wonderful sponsor, get on and unmute himself. He and I are the reason why I am involved in this amazing company. I thank God and them every day for bringing me this miracle patch. And I do want to say, full disclosure, this patch does not treat, cure, or mitigate any diseases. It actually turns on your body's healing mechanism. So your body is made to heal itself. That's what God intended for us. And as we age, the healing process slows down. So all this patch is doing is turning on your body's healing mechanisms. So Mom, I still don't hear you.
How about me? Can you hear me?
I can hear Vic.
All right.
Let me find you.
I was waiting for you to cue me in. I'm all excited. I want my turn. I want my turn.
Let me pin you. Okay. All right. All right.
Can you see
Vic,
me?
I can see you. Let me get rid of the pin. Okay. You're good.
All right, cool. Hey, Michelle, you're doing a great thing. Consistency. Love that you're having these calls, getting people on there, keeping them excited. And, the magic of this is what? The magic of the patch. And that's all that it comes down to. As you said, it's not, it's age reversing, which I truly believe now, because I never wore braces in my life. And here I am at 53. I'm in braces. I got to stop this patch reversing my age. Okay. We got to turn it back down. All right. That's a little spoof, everybody. So I'll get serious. So testimonies. I'd love to tell you my testimonies. And if you want to hear my testimony or my wife's testimony, we're going to be in town next Thursday. Correct me if I got the date right, Michelle. Next Thursday, June 22nd,
Yep.
8 p.m. So please come and see Di and I, hear our testimonies, see why we're so excited about this patch and what it's doing for us. But what I want to share tonight, and I love what you were alluding to earlier for it, but I have someone that I shared this patch with. And I don't want to say Frank's name, but I will. But I shared this patch with a friend in the gym. And he said, you know, I believe in this. I'm going to wear the patch. But I could tell you one thing. And I said, what? He goes, I hate people. I'm not talking to anybody about this patch. I said, Frank, you just wear the patch and let's see where things go. And he said, okay. So Frank started wearing the patch. A couple weeks going by, kind of like everyone else. I'm kind of maybe think I feel something. I'm really not sure for myself. And then I'm going to tell you probably in his third week, started telling me how he thought he needed some shoulder surgery because his shoulder was weak in the gym and how he started feeling it strengthening. And he had better workouts, longer workouts for himself. He had a knee that he said, you know, he could only leg press 300 pounds, but now he's back to leg pressing over 550 pounds. I don't even know why you want to put that amount of weight on there, but he does. And he's just loving it for himself. And I would time and time again, and this is months now, I'd said, Frank, are you sure you don't want to tell anybody about this? He said, Vic, I told you, I really just talking to people for me, it's difficult. He goes, you know what? I'm going to patch my father. So he patches his father. His father had the shakes. And he said, Vic, I put that patch on him. And all of a sudden, his shakes started getting worse. And I'm thinking, oh, he's going to tell me he didn't stay. He goes, but I told my father, I said, Dad, something's working. You keep that patch on every day and don't take it off. And his dad endured increased shakes for 1 week. And after 1 week, guess what happened? Shakes no more. Sounds incredible. I know this guy 100%. You know, no reason to say anything otherwise. He is so happy that his father continued to wear this patch, that he forced them to continue to wear that patch. And now, what do you think Frank's doing? He's talking to a couple people. He's out of his shell because you don't know where that belief is going to come from. When it's from yourself, it's great. But when you're seeing someone else out there wearing this patch and they're telling you what it did for them, as we're doing tonight, to me, that's the power of what this patch is doing. Wear it consistently. Don't give up and just keep wearing that patch. And I am telling you, we are on to one of the biggest, can I say revolutions? I'm trying to just think of the word of what's going on. But what we are going to do for individuals is amazing. So keep getting on your Zooms, keep calling people, keep the persistence, wear that patch. Thank you, Michelle. I'm sorry if I went too long. I didn't know my time window.
No, it was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Vic is an amazing person. I've known them for a long time. I used to train Di, his wife, and they were probably the most successful people that I knew in their early 30s. They had a house on the water, and just the friendliest people. They would throw the most amazing parties. We had a blast. We did another company back then, all based around a juice, the acai berry. And, you know, we've had a pretty good run with that up until they lost their patent, and it was sold in Costco and, you know, 7-Eleven, you can get acai berries there. So it's amazing that now we have our hands on something and we're running and really growing this business together again. And they're amazing sponsors for me, and they're very successful people. So when you have a successful friend call you up and tell you they got something, you kind of listen. So next slide, I'm going to go on to talking about.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. There's my beautiful mother. You fixed it. Okay, awesome.
I'll wait until you're ready for me.
Okay, I want to pin your video. Just have to find you now. I don't know why I lost you all of a sudden. Okay, let me pin you. Here we go. Okay. Okay, there's my beautiful mother. You can start, Mom.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle's mom, Nancy. I'm just a few years older than she is. So if I look young, and I have had some trouble with my right knee. I've had 2 meniscus surgeries, and about a year and a half, 2 years ago, the doctor kept telling me he wanted to do a knee replacement because I'm bone on bone. I didn't feel like I was ready for it because I'm too young, so I didn't want to do that yet. But lo and behold, since using the patches, I'm not feeling any pain in my knee. I climb up and down the stairs without any problem, and it's got to be the patches. Also, about a year or so ago, my doctor was getting concerned about my blood pressure. I'm at that age where we have to start worrying about our elevated blood pressure. So she asked me to start keeping track of my numbers. I had been on the patch for a little while, and lo and behold, my numbers are phenomenal, like 117 over 76, 120 over 78. And it's been consistent like that. So I no longer have a problem in that department. Another thing that's worked for me is there's history of depression in my family. I've had some major life events that have caused me to go into depression. So I've been mostly on medication for about 20 years or so, occasionally off, but mostly on. Just before I started taking the patches, I was actually on 2 different medications. I was at the point where I needed a booster in addition to the one medication. I finally went off the booster about 6 months ago. And then about 3 months ago, I decreased the dosage on my second medication, and I'm hoping to completely get off of it soon. I'm feeling like normal, like a normal human being now. And then the last thing that I finally noticed, talking with Michelle, I had a fall about 2 years ago where I was diagnosed with a compression fracture in my spine. I went to an orthopedic doctor. He took x-rays, MRIs, and everything else. He said it would probably take about 3 months to heal, gave me a prescription for a brace, a back brace, and I wore it. But as my family well knows, I love to entertain on the holidays. I love to cook and have everybody over. But I could not stand on my feet long enough to prepare a decent meal anymore. My back would start killing me. I would have to sit for 20 minutes to a half hour before I was able to get up and stand up again. And I just said to Michelle that it's almost never that I'm having that pain anymore. There's a little bit there once in a while. It was more than a year after the fall before I finally started started feeling better, but the patches had most to do with it.
That's
So
awesome.
that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Thanks, Mom. I'm happy
You're
that you were able to get on. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Love you.
I love you. Okay, I'm going to have you mute yourself if you don't mind. Okay, so the potential of the stem cell industry is enormous. Stem cell therapy is becoming more and more popular. If you want to go and get a shot, you just have to spend anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 for a shot that just goes in the area that you need it. And sometimes it's contraindicated. Sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes it does work, but it may only work for 6 months to a year. And then you have to spend that money again, and it's not covered by insurance. So this patch is systemic. So what's wonderful about it is your stem cells are pluripotent. And when it activates those stem cells, it will go to the weakest link in your body. So if you have a bad back and you're hoping that you put it on and it's going to heal your back, but you might be a smoker, you will your stem cells could be going to the lungs to heal them, because that's the most inflamed spot. So that's why we tell everybody to be very patient and give it a long try. I say 3 to 6 months. people are realizing the importance of healthy stem cells. The stem cell industry is expected to explode from 200 million to 300 billion. So CBD was very big. It still is kind of big, but not as much as stem cells. So if you look at CBD, that's supposed to hit 30 billion in the next 3 years. Stem cells are supposed to hit 300 billion in the next 3 years. So this is where it's at. If you want to get involved in something, if you're looking for a little extra income, this is where it's at. And it's not that hard. You basically feel amazing and you have nothing but great things to want to talk about because people see it in you, they could tell you're different. So it's not really hard to tell someone, just like you go out to dinner or see a wonderful movie. What do? You share it with your friends. So this is the compensation plan. I'm not going to get too deep into the business, but I just want to let you know that this is a binary. So what that means is you have a right leg and a left leg, and your right team, in order to basically start reaching a manager position, you need to hit 2 silvers on your right and 2 silvers on your left. And that's the position that we always want everybody to get to. That's like your first major goal. Your team commissions that you can earn up to a week in the binary is 25,000, and that's where you cap off. But there's other ways of getting paid. So there's something called a matching bonus, and you get paid 3 levels deep. So everybody that I personally enroll, like my mom, my sister, my closest friends, I get 25% of whatever they bring in. Imagine if my sister was making 6 figures a year, I'm going to be making 25% off of that. And imagine my sister's best friend, she signs up, makes $500,000 a year. I'm going to make 20% of that. And then that person who's making 500,000 signs up a person that's making $1 million a year. I'm going to make 20% of that. I know those sound like big numbers, but I like to think big. So that's just another way of getting paid. You also get paid on first order bonuses, which I won't get into, but the amount of money that you can make in the business, if you're looking, is amazing. If you're looking for better health, there's nowhere else that you're going to find it. Right here is where it's at. You just have to be patient. This is the name of the team that we are all involved in. It's the fastest growing team in the company. We used to be behind Japan, but we have now surpassed them. So my team, Quantum Field, is the fastest growing team in the company. So if you are looking for something to make a little extra side income, you're at the right place with the right team. We are all here to help you. And the system that we use is called 331. And our team is called Quantum Field X39. And this is the website. If it's something you're interested in, you want to dig into a little bit more about how we run this business, all you have to do is go to build331.com, and there's a whole system already set. You just hit that get started, and they give you all the steps in order to start your business. It is the easiest thing I've ever seen. I had 2 fitness studios. I had to pay for insurance. I had to pay for equipment. I had to find workers to work for me. I had to find workers that showed up. I had to, make sure that I, had everybody come in and sign a waiver. I mean, there was so many different things that was involved. And then I had to have my poor mom do my QuickBooks, because on top of all the business, there's the accounting part. So this business for me was a no-brainer, because it's just talking to people. And I am so happy that I'm able to give back and share with people and help people again. Because when I closed my businesses, right, when I got pregnant, I was missing that camaraderie of being able to give back and to help people and to make a difference in people's life. And now I'm able to do that again with this amazing business. The time is now to make your move. Are you serious about your dreams? Do you want to be pain-free and financially free? You are at the right place. This is the order form, and these are the different packages that you can get into. So there's one way called the retail customer, where you would get in for $150. We don't necessarily recommend that, because it's very expensive to spend $150 a month when you can get in either as a preferred customer or a brand partner. As a preferred customer, you pay $20 a year, and that brings your sleeve down to $100 plus tax and shipping. I also really don't recommend that, because what do we do when we feel something, when we feel better? We share it with people, we tell people. So if you're as a preferred customer, you're not really going to make money or, be able to get your product for free as fast as you would, or even you wouldn't even be able to get it for free unless you sign up as a brand partner. So the first way is bronze, which is the most expensive way because you're paying an extra $25 for that sleeve of patches. There's 30 patches in one sleeve. So I always try to recommend everybody get in as a silver, which is 3 sleeves for $300. So you're getting that initial startup. It's a one-time fee. You have those 3 sleeves, so you know that they're there. And if, let's say, you have a friend or a spouse that wants to try it, you have extra sleeves on hand, and then you go on your monthly auto ship after that. Gold is the best way if you see yourself doing this as a business, just to start out. If you don't have the money to get in as a diamond, which is the biggest way and the most money to be made, we recommend gold as a business builder because you are getting 5 sleeves and they will give you a sleeve to try out, and it's $500. It will help you to maximize your bonuses as a business builder. Platinum, we don't recommend because you're not really getting your bang for your buck. Diamond is the way to get in, and that's how I got in. It was $1,600, and I made that money back in 5 days because I was excited. My friends were excited, and you get paid as a senior director for 14 weeks, which ups your bonuses. So I'm not really going to get into that because that probably sounds like Chinese to you. But this is the order form, and it's very simple. You get on placed on the tree, and if you decide you don't like it, it's just a click of a button. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to give 30 days. It's just that simple. So I will say you have 30 days to try it, and there's a money back guarantee. So again, there's no harm in giving it a try, especially if you're going to get in at a high rate like a gold or a platinum. Again, if after a month you decide it's not for you, you have a 30 money back guarantee. This I would take a screenshot of. These are the different sites that you want to become familiar with. StartX39.com is where you find all the double-blind placebo studies, the patents, a little bit about light therapy, learning about David Schmidt, and here's some testimonials. This Facebook group, Quantum Field X39, is phenomenal. I have found a lot of info on that. YouTube channel is my go-to. Onyx Cole, she is #1 in the company. She started this YouTube channel, and you can get on every single day and watch any of these Zoom calls. You can hear some of the Zooms from David Schmidt. I wrote tons of notes just from that one YouTube channel. The Quantum Field X39 team testimonials on Facebook is phenomenal too. I've taken a lot of screenshots of before and after pictures. It's great to hear people's story, and it's just brings you to tears with some of the changes that it's made in people's lives with their health. And build331.com is a site where you can look into the business if it's something that you're interested in. And that is the end of the slideshow. If anybody does have questions, I am available if you want to stay on the chat. If you want to leave any comments in the chat, please feel free to do so. And for those of you that have not tried the patch and you want to try it, the time is now. So you want to get with your sponsor or the person that invited you to this Zoom call and get on the patches, because that's the only way that you're going to know when you're going to start feeling better. If you wait, you're going to say, damn, I wish I started a little sooner. So my friend Jackie, who was on earlier, she started the patches. She started the company, the business, without even trying the patches. And that's basically what I did too. When you know someone that you love and you trust them and they tell you they have something big and you have to try it, you kind of just listen and go all in. And that's what we both did. And we are so happy that we did. So I really appreciate everybody for coming on and giving me your time. I apologize for the beginning. I was a little flustered from some of the background noise. So I'm happy that everybody was muted at the end of the video, and I'm so happy that I was able to get all the great testimonials. Vic, it was so great to see you, my wonderful sponsor. Again, if anybody has any questions, just type it up in the chat. I will have this video recorded and placed on YouTube. So if anybody wants to rewatch it, just reach out to us and we will send it your way. Hope you all have a great night. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday, June 22nd, 102 Walnut Street at the West Grove United Methodist Church. We are going to be doing meetings there once a month. And next Thursday is the big one. We're going to see our sponsors, Vic and Di, and our friends, Javi and Olga from North Jersey, who are senior presidential directors. And they got involved in this business because Olga's son was a nonverbal and has autism. And she has seen amazing results. And from that, giving it to her son and sharing it with other children who are autistic, they have actually built a multi-million-dollar business just by helping people. So they are someone that you want to come and listen to their story. Thank you guys again. And I look forward to seeing you soon.